Chargers ranked 14th in attendance this season while operating in one of the nation's top 3 population markets. With the Rams coming off a playoff appearance and looking like a playoff contender next season, Spanos needed Harbaugh to keep pace with the Rams and restore a fading fan base. The Chargers are certain to sell more season tickets with Harbaugh coming in with a winning culture. He led Michigan to the national championship when he coached the 49ers from 2011 to 2014. He took them to the NFC title game 3 times and a Super Bowl. His starting quarterback on that Super Bowl team in 2013 was Colin Kaepernick. A new era has come to Chargers Nation. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
You like the style, though?
At KBLA Talk 1580, we are unapologetic about amplifying the voices of those who have historically been left out of the conversation. As we approach our 3rd anniversary this summer, the problem with talk radio in Southern California specifically, and America more broadly, is virtually unchanged. All day, all night, all white. We make no apologies for our prime audience, but true to the best of our tradition, we're committed to expanding justice and freedom for all. So when we receive messages from listeners like Neil, we just smile.
I realize that I'm not your target demographic, but I love listening to your station as it is the only progressive station on the dial.
That's us. Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Ready. Build from the dirt. Ready. Look, build from the dirt. It ain't no shortcut, homes, gotta get what you worth. I'ma send a bill for the verse. If that ain't you spending it perfect, it is less work. I ain't gotta deal with the personal fear in the verse of the year, cause my slap. It ain't been close in a year. Y'all see my close in the mirror. Y'all getting no cap. That bounce different when the in the house with me. He be quiet as a mouse, quiet as a cap. I ain't come to mouth with you. Everything that I'm about different, the amount different to the clout dripping. He be sitting on the couch chilling with the niggas that was in the house with him. And that figures. Fools rap one pandemic and then swear that they on. They swear that they on. Wanna feel love like this, but you won't feel love like this till you dead and you gone. Watch what you say, cause the gang in here. Watch for the snakes if you stay in here. They ask when you start putting haze in the air. I said, bro, shit changed in a year. Dividends, what the difference is. Independent with the business is. I've been in the gym on my fit shit. Eating rappers have me feeling sick. Drag race at the dealership. Another bag chase, another bad case of a shoulda, coulda, with the face. Last place had a bad taste, but this FCC. Dreams come true. When it's up and we up, then it's up. Tough when that check ain't cash, cause you slept through class. Now you up, but it sucks, so you stuck.
KBLA Talk 1580. That's Miles Lowe. What are we listening to, Miles?
Track's called Swear to God off the No Place Like Home EP.
No Place Like Home EP. That's your latest. You can get all of Miles's music at Miles Lowe Music on all platforms. Are you producing these tracks?
I produce the projects. I get the individual tracks from different producers.
Okay.
That's my boy Noise out of North Las Vegas.
All right. Still representing for your hometown, Las Vegas, Nevada. And Miles, I really, I love hearing your music. I love hearing your progress and just how you're pushing yourself to put out more and more work and stay in that creative zone in 2024.
It's got to be intentional. It can't be something that just so happens. I'm starting to realize that. Maybe when I was younger, I think maybe that I could just flow in and out of being creative when I want to. But where I'm at now, I think we are at a point where we need to be intentional as artists.
And it's funny you'd say that because I think about my mom, who is Diane DiPrima, the poet, and published 100 books in her lifetime, even though she had 5 of us, 5 children.
Right.
And most of that time, she was married sometimes. We got baby daddies.
Mama got to have a life too.
We got baby daddies, but a lot of times she was a single mom. But she was really big on this thing if you're a writer, you write every day, which is one of the reasons I'm so mad at myself because I don't. But I write a lot of days, just not the stuff I want to be writing. If you're a painter, you paint every day. If you're a dancer, you dance every day. If you're a writer, you write every day. And she was very disciplined about that. Everything else could be chaos, right, in our home. But Mom was going to write. Yeah. And I think that people underestimate the importance of dedication to the craft and consistency. I mean, look, I might not write every day, but I'd be on this mic every doggone day talking. I was calculating how many hours I have spent on the radio and on TV mics in my lifetime, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands.
100,000 hours?
Not quite there, but
Okay.
it's a lot of hours. And so, there's something to be said for that, for sure. So congrats to you. Remind us how to support your music.
Man, everything at Miles Low Music, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, everything at Miles Low Music. Type in Miles Low, MILESLOW. On all your streaming platforms. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon. Alexa will play my music. If you tell Alexa, he'll play some Miles Low for me while I clean up the house. He'll pick a nice playlist for you.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
But to follow up just on what you said real quick, Dominique, it is a muscle is how I look at it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it will get weak if you don't work it out. So
Yep.
The strength may not go as fast as the muscle goes, but you definitely got to stay toned, stay sharp, stay strong. And that's I think my job and responsibility for my art is to do that.
Yeah, I feel like my I had a writing teacher named Faye Kicknasway, and I wrote this whole long, piece for her assignment. And she's like, it was like 10 pages. And she looked at it and she said, "Your piece starts here." And it was the 10th page, of course. But it taught me a lesson, just do it. If what comes out is junk, you can always throw it away and start again. The war that matters is the war of the imagination, to quote my mama's poem. Feeling mommy today, Diane DiPrima. So a judge has ordered that a trial be held next month. Remember this kid, this poor child in Texas who keeps getting in trouble for having locks, despite the Crown Act. They say his hair is too long. Then he twists it up and puts it in a bun thingy above his shoulder. They won't let him do it. His name is Gerald George. They've kept him out of the regular classroom since last summer. He's either been doing in-school suspension or being kept at an off-site disciplinary program. Imagine this, with all the conversation we have and all of the massive problem we have with kids dropping out of school and not graduating. This Texas school at Barbers Hill, ironically, Barbers Hill High School, has been forcing this young black man to stay out of school since August. The school, which is near Houston, says it's just because his hair is too long. We know that's bull because there are white kids that have longer hair. It is the natural style that they object to. Now he will go to court. And as a mom who has dealt with a child being targeted, held out of school for something completely unrelated to their academic performance. In my child's case, it was activism. I know how hard it is to on the child. And if you want to bring a lawsuit, it's not just, you wave a magic wand and sue. It costs money and time. And this young man, Gerald George, his life will be invaded with questions and depositions. And so I commend him and his family for standing up to this BS and invoking the Crown Act and taking it to court. Because the Crown Act took effect even in Texas in September, and it prohibits race-based hair discrimination, and it specifically bars both employers and schools from penalizing people because of their hair texture, protective hairstyles, including afros, braids, twists, bantu knots, or, yes, wait for it, locks. So I hope this guy prevails, and I commend that family for going through all that they're going to have to go through for this child to be able to just be black, schooling while black. You say you want kids to stay in school. You say education is the most important thing, but you're literally forcing this child not to come to school because you do not like his hairstyle. That's insane. Meanwhile, the school superintendent, this guy, Greg Poole, has been running a full-page ad for the past month talking about why they're not violating the Crown Act. Taint jury pool much, anyone? Incredible. And I don't, you know what, I need to find out if they have a GoFundMe or something to pay for their legal fees. I would send them something, because I know, you know, we were thinking about taking legal action against a school, and I know what deep pockets and thick skin it takes to make that happen as a black family going against a white institution with systemic racism baked into the way they do business. And I wish them Godspeed. Good for you, young man. And I hope that when he graduates, he gets some amazing job offers just based on his fortitude and willingness to stand up because of what he's doing, what 18-year-old Daryl George is doing. Maybe some other school districts will think twice before penalizing children for being black. We got an exciting show coming up for you next. McKoi Zeno is in the building. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyaudio.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyaudio.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The new year's here. Time for a change. Start with a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI with My Computer Career in just months. Already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Anjali.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just got an alert for a strange charge on my card.
No problem. We make sure you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card. Let's see. Did you purchase something from a t-shirt cannon store yesterday?
Absolutely not. No, I already have like 3.
$0 fraud liability guarantee. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Limitations apply.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I do appreciate you. I know I came in here with no makeup on my face and promised to to do a tutorial. We are having some glitches in that plan, so why don't you call me if you want to, 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580 is the number to call. I want to remind you, though, we are your election information station, and we will continue to interview candidates. We've got next week coming up, we've got more district attorney candidates, city council. In addition, we will be talking to the judges. I know how important that was last time, because many times we don't even know who the judges are, and we're playing eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And certainly some of the decisions that we've been seeing lately, along with attacks on judges, really show how pivotal the role is of these folks that sit on the bench. So we'll be looking into that. All of that stuff will be housed on our website. So make sure you keep it right here. And it's interesting. I was talking to one of the candidates off the air, and she was saying, that she's knocking on doors and people are telling her they don't even know there's an election coming up. Well, folks, there is an election coming up. Early voting starts in just a few weeks. Yes, I said it, weeks, not months. It's the first week of February when you will get those ballots. That's actually 2 weeks away. And then the election itself, March 5th, right around the corner. So it's time to start paying attention. On the good news front, this is good news to me. You may not think that it is, but we've talked ad nauseum about unhousedness, homelessness, houselessness, and this NIMBYism that we were speaking on earlier. Not in my backyard. People don't want to build housing there. They want all of the housing to go into low-income neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, Latino neighborhoods, and keep themselves insulated from unhoused and low-income, affordable housing residents. So every city in California is supposed to give a plan to the state about how they're going to build housing, how they're going to increase the supply, where it's going to go. And a lot of cities that don't want poor people, black people, or brown people drag their feet on this or refuse to do it, i.e. Santa Monica famously, Manhattan Beach famously. In some cases, the state is saying, if you don't come up with your own plan, we're going to impose ours, and you'll have to build where we say. Of course, that's going to create a spate of lawsuits. But the city of Beverly Hills is one of these places. And it's interesting because the city is famous for constantly building, the McMansions and these incredible upgrade, do-overs, improvements from the wealthy residents there. So now, LA County Superior Court Judge Curtis Kinn has blocked the city from issuing all building permits except for new residential development. And it is the judge's way of penalizing the city of Beverly Hills for failing to approve affordable housing inside the city. In other words, they have refused to come up with a plan to let poor people or people of color live inside Beverly Hills. It's not just their special police force that they had, which was supposedly monitoring lifestyle crimes, which I think something I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was something outrageous, like 80% of the people that they harassed and cited were black. It's not just that. It's that they don't want you to live there either. They don't want affordable housing there either at all. So this judge, big ups to Judge Curtis Kinn. He was like, Kinn. He said, no more, you can't build a pool. You can't upgrade your, fancy guest house. None of that until y'all approve a plan for affordable housing in the city. Now, officials are appealing that decision. Of course, they say they're going to keep processing permits and they're going to ignore what the judge said. But everyone's freaking out. I mean, this is something you may not hear about in the barbershop or the hair salon, but folks in Beverly Hills are having a meltdown, freak out, because they can't do what they were planning to do, and get even fancier, fancify, probably not a word, upgrade their homes or businesses until they get a blueprint for affordable housing. Even if the officials continue to ignore the judge, you think about the implications of this long term and what it could do to the city. I just love it. I love it. I'm not mad at you for wanting, your sauna on your pool or an extra bathroom for your, for your guest house or whatever it is that you're doing. I'm not mad at your exorbitant wealth. I'm really not. I wouldn't mind having exorbitant wealth myself, but I am feeling like I would love to see this idea replicated in wealthy NIMBY cities all over the country. If you refuse to come up with a plan for affordable housing, if you drag your feet and slow walk the requirement by the state, and I don't know how many other states have this requirement, but I'm sure there are many, and it could easily be put in place by state legislatures, because this crisis of truly affordable housing, not the median, but the average income of an area, right? Truly affordable housing is not just a California thing. Sure, it's worse here, but we are the canary in the virtual coal mine. This is a crisis which is already spreading across the country. I remember I have a friend who moved to Atlanta. She retired and moved to Atlanta, where she was able to get a very inexpensive home. She sold her home here and was able to buy a home with property and have money to live on left over. Well, I have a friend that's building a home there right now, and times have changed. Atlanta now is close to LA prices, unless you want to live out, Georgia woods. So this affordability crisis is spreading. It started in New York, LA, San Francisco, now San Diego. San Diego is more expensive than Los Angeles. It is spreading. And so we are going to have to look at measures to force affordable housing. And by affordable housing, I mean housing that you can actually get into and maintain if you are being paid the minimum wage for full-time work in the city where you reside. That is affordable housing. Now, that's a little bit more if you live in West Hollywood, where they have the highest minimum wage in the nation. But maybe some of these NIMBYs will feel the need to raise the wage, right? So that they can raise their affordability ceiling. Whatever it is, the people we deemed essential, right, during the height of COVID, the people we deemed essential cannot afford to live in the places where they work. Who is essential? Healthcare workers, restaurant workers, people that provide us with the ability to buy retail products like the toilet paper that everyone was stocking up on. Y'all probably still have some left over from what you bought in 2020. All of those people that interface with us have to be able to afford to live where they work. The gardeners, the fast food workers, the babysitters, the house painters, the house builders. Yeah, hopefully they got good union jobs, but not all of them do. Okay? And that means we're going to have to, I feel like we're going to have to start twisting some arms. I would love to see states and cities purchase housing, and I'm not talking about housing projects per se. I'm talking about housing for working class people, right? We have a lot of conversation on this show about gentrification because it is something we see before our eyes. The people that have grown up in neighborhoods, who have been in those neighborhoods for generations, being pushed out, priced out, permitted out of neighborhoods, and more affluent, in many cases, whiter residents moving in. It is happening right now on the west side of South LA, the Crenshaw district. It's happening here. And so part of the solution to that is more housing, so that you don't, if you really want to move here, I don't have to be pushed out. And maybe you can find something that you can afford in the neighborhood where you already are, so you don't have to come on and take an affordable or more affordable unit from someone over here in our community that needs it. So I'm going to be tracking this because this is probably symbolically, maybe the most ritzy. It might not in real life. Like, I think Bel Air is probably ritzier than Beverly Hills. Bel Air Crest. If you live in LA, you know where that is. But Beverly Hills, from the show 90210 to the Beverly Hillbillies, has been a symbol of affluence and exclusivity. So if they can be forced by the courts to include working class people in their city, then sky's the limit. The chair of the Municipal League there is quoted in the LA Times saying, "We have intentionally created a desirable environment by deliberately avoiding overdevelopment and overdensification." That's code for you. Let's go to Morris. Overdensification, that means too many black and brown people. Hi, Morris from Inglewood. What's up?
Inglewood! Hey, it sounds like code language to me. But Dominic, let me ask you a question. One of the most intelligent people I talk to, whatever happened to public housing?
Well, I mean, you haven't seen the projects. They're still there.
Okay, so we're not about building public housing. We're only about building what the code language, affordable housing. Is that it?
Well, I mean, if it's affordable public housing, I'd be for that. Is that different than a housing project? I think what my understanding is that urban planners are leaning more towards mixed income housing, where so you're not just sticking all the low income folks in one big tower in a substandard kind of environment, but where we're starting to see more buildings that are affordable housing mixed with so-called market rate housing. And I don't know, I don't know all of the answers to what you're saying. I know, for example, in San Francisco, the public housing projects that I lived across the street from have now been knocked down and replaced with expensive condominiums. And those black people no longer live in San Francisco. So, I don't want to knock on the projects like we shouldn't, like projects should be abolished necessarily. I just think that the movement now is towards building mixed income, mixed use kinds of developments.
I think the problem that we have is the developers, and this is not fraud or bribing or anything like that. Legally, developers can come into your community and buy up all of your public officials, and they're developing projects now. They're developing projects now where the buildings are vacant. I would rather have a housing project than have people homeless. Yeah. And I grew up in a public housing, and I know how important public housing is. I also grew up in an era when housing and students and institutions were not turned into commodities. We had some humanity to us. So the first thing we need to talk about is public housing, not affordable housing. That's code language. Public housing, where people who don't have them fat jobs or good paying jobs have a place to live and sleep and clean their skin and cook their food, etc. We got to have some kind of movement that addresses public housing managed by the city or some governmental agency. But when you turn over to privatization, we got nothing coming.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It's a fair point. I don't think it's public housing versus affordable housing. I think it's both and. But really, really great point, Morris. Appreciate the call. Time for news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
We thank you for joining us. I'm Mike Moore. Now, here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A Minnesota trooper who fatally shot a black motorist during a traffic stop is being charged with murder. State Trooper Ryan Londrigan on Wednesday was charged with second-degree unintentional murder in the death of 33-year-old Ricky Cobb, who was pulled over in July for driving on the interstate in Minneapolis without his lights on. Cobb was shot twice after he refused to get out of his vehicle. More than 21 million people have signed up for health insurance through the Affordable Care Act this year. The sign-up hit record numbers with an increase of nearly 31%, with the largest growth in politically red states. States with the largest year-over-year increases include West Virginia, Louisiana, Ohio, and Tennessee. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Temperatures getting low, but demand remaining high? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
This was a move Chargers owner Dean Spanos had to make. There was no way he could prepare his franchise for next season without hiring Jim Harbaugh as his new head coach. The Chargers ranked 14th in attendance this season while operating in one of the nation's top 3 population markets. With the Rams coming off a playoff appearance and looking like a playoff contender next season, Spanos needed Harbaugh to keep pace with the Rams and restore a fading fan base. The Chargers are certain to sell more season tickets with Harbaugh coming in with a winning culture. He led Michigan to the national championship. When he coached the 49ers from 2011 to 2014, he took them to the NFC title game 3 times and a Super Bowl. His starting quarterback on that Super Bowl team in 2013 was Colin Kaepernick. A new era has come to Chargers Nation. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Got me a damn girl on my team.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe we have the best tag team in morning radio. Dominique DiPrima and Tavis Smiley as the first black woman in Los Angeles to anchor a morning drive talk radio show. Dominique covers local politics like a blanket. Weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., Dominique passes the baton to Tavis Smiley, who talks to everybody about everything every day until 12 noon. KBLA's dynamic duo, Dominique and Tavis. It's no wonder the LA Civil Rights Department is honoring Dominique DiPrima this year at its Tell Our Story honoring black journalist leaders and storytellers event, Thursday, February 8th. Or that the John M. Langston Bar Association of Los Angeles is honoring Tavis Smiley at its 47th Annual Installation and Scholarship Awards Gala with its Community Impact Award on February 10th. We couldn't be more proud of Dominique and Tavis, who make black history every day, not just in February. If you're missing Dominique and Tavis weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Holla, yeah.
There's only a few days left for open enrollment, starting at $0 a month. LA Care Covered offers the benefits you need to achieve your health goals. $0 preventive services, 24/7 virtual care and nurse advice lines, walk-in minute clinics, free fitness and nutrition classes, and more. Become a member of LA's most affordable health plan. Get a free instant quote at lacarecovered.org. Have open enrollment questions? Connect with us today at 855-222-4239. Find your affordable path to wellness with LA Care Covered today.
Don't settle for bumps, ingrowns, and itch due to dry skin. Venus for Pubic Hair and Skin is here with the only razor and regimen specifically designed for your pubic area, featuring a razor with the patented irritation defense bar and skincare regimen that is dermatologist and gynecologist tested. Venus helps protect your pubic skin from shave irritation. Visit GilletteVenus.com to learn more about our full regimen of products.
Every business seeks an advantage, whether it's having the best location, hiring top talent, or spotting trends before they happen. And now, the United States Postal Service can give your business a new advantage. Introducing USPS Ground Advantage. Reliable and affordable 2 to 5 day package shipping. It's the advantage you need at the price you want. Get the Ground Advantage at USPS.com/advantage. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the exclusive media sponsor of this light of ours, activist photographers of the Civil Rights Movement. A dynamic new exhibition on view now at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This light of ours showcases more than 150 photos taken by movement insiders from diverse backgrounds that reveal the vital work undertaken by a broad coalition of organizers and everyday people whose collective action changed America. This light of ours is one of 3 temporary exhibitions currently on view at the Skirball, which together explore issues related to civil rights, immigration, and pluralism. Tickets and more information for all 3 exhibitions are available at skirball.org. That's skirball.org. SKIRBALL.org.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
So we had some miscommunication this morning. So our makeup tutorial, which starts now, is going to be abbreviated. This is good because lots of you who do your makeup do it really fast on your way out the door. Like me in the morning, I can put on a lot of makeup in a little time. But when I look super extra cute, that means McKoi Zeno did my makeup. He's an artist, a spiritualist, a crystal healer, a certified yoga teacher, iridologist. You might remember him if you're from LA from when he worked at Simply Wholesome as a resident herbalist for 9 years. He does a crystal piece jewelry. I've got one on my wrist right now, but he's also a makeup artist, a MUA with some of the top brands and celebrities throughout the Southern California area. Good morning, McKoi Zeno.
Good morning, beauties. How are you? Hey, Dominique.
Hey,
Your
so
skin looking great.
Thank you. So we're going to tell you a little bit about how to look fabulous, how to do makeup, especially for black skin, because I feel like you specialize in that, and you have like 3 million shades of blush.
Everybody's covered when it comes to the beauty. So I do want to add, I am with Dior currently, and so a lot of products I'll be using today is with Dior Cosmetics. I've been with Dior for about 15 years this year. And I just found that they are constantly innovating new products and pushing us forward when it comes to makeup. And they're fully inclusive. And a lot of their products are 90+% plant origin based. I won't say they're natural, but they're plant origin based, which means the end product comes from plant-based material.
Okay, so one thing that I did learn from McKoi, you've been doing my makeup, like 10 years now or something?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Something like that. It started when I was at a different radio station, which I'm not going to name. But one of the first things I learned from you is even more important than all the paint is what we put on our face before we start doing the makeup, right?
It is. So I'm going in with a little bit of serum. This is the Capture Total serum. So your serums penetrate the deepest layers of the skin. And gentlemen, take from this what you can, because looking good is for everyone. And so in general, when you have a serum, it's lightweight and super, super concentrated. So it's going to penetrate the deepest layers of the skin. You apply it where you need skincare most. So where you have the most problems.
If what you mean by problems, you mean dry or wrinkles or both?
Yes.
Not that I have any of those things.
None of which. And eye cream. Very important, morning and night. Now, the difference between eye creams and face moisturizers is that eye creams tend to have treatment ingredients that focuses on dark circles and puffiness around the eye area, as well as smaller molecules as far as active ingredients to penetrate the thin layers around the skin. Look at that smile on Dominique. How beautiful. You guys, you can check this out on YouTube right now. We are live, correct?
Yes, absolutely. We're streaming.
We're
This is the first time I've ever streamed with no makeup because you were coming. And you know me, I don't do naked face.
Yeah, she's a glamazon.
Unless I'm home alone.
And so we'll take a little bit of face primer. Yep, just like priming a wall. We're going to prime the skin. Primers fill in any pores, smooth out the skin, just get the skin ready for makeup application. And so if you look, the skin looks beautiful, radiant, soft, smooth.
So all these things like serum and primer and your, all these creams and things, you can find them. I mean, you can find you at Dior, but
yes.
most makeup lines would have this kind of stuff.
Most lines
right?
have it, as well as health food stores. So, there's super natural ways to get these kind of products. There's clean beauty out there as well.
All right, clean beauty away. What are you doing now?
So with Dominique, I always start with her brows because it's the focal part of her face. And usually with brows, what you want to do is take a little bit of face powder after your skincare and brush it through your brow. If you find that your brow tends to melt away, it's probably because you have too many creamy products on. And so you have to apply something to set the skin first. If you think about it, I just put on like 3 products. They're all creamy, they're all moisturizing. So if I put on a waxy brow pencil, it's going to just kind of melt. And so with brows, I don't know if you guys can see this, my general technique is you want to outline your brow. So no longer are you feeling like these hard blocks. If you have hair in your brow, the first thing you do is a line below, a line above, and then you connect those into the tail. And if you look, you see how it naturally fills in the brow. You have this little hollow space, and that's where you take the spoolie, which is a brush on back of your pencil, or kind of like a mascara wand. It's a clean mascara wand. And you just kind of blend the hairs into that brow pencil. And then afterwards, you take a few strokes, brush the hairs up. You see a beautiful, soft, defined brow.
And when I do them, they don't come out like that. But brows are having a moment, right?
Brows are always having a moment. They're the frame of the face. If you think about your face, what you notice most is someone's eyes. Well, the brows are the frame for the eyes, therefore the frame for the face. And so your brow can really change a lot about the face structure and a lot about your beauty notes. Let me see. We're going to brush that up. Go for it.
You mentioned that men should pay attention. Talk to me about men and moisturizing while you do my other brow.
Sure. So men and moisturizing. Day to day, we're outside where, there's smog, there's dust, there's pollen, there's all kind of allergens in the air. There's hard water. There's the sun, which is our friend, but we kind of need something we need to treat our skin. It's an organ. And so with men, I highly recommend at least washing your skin morning and night, applying some sort of witch hazel toner, and any sort of moisturizer, whether it be an oil, if that's your preference, like a very lightweight oil, grapeseed oil, olive oil, coconut oil.
Probably not Vaseline.
Definitely not a petrol product like Vaseline.
Which is the same thing they make gasoline out of.
Yes.
Vaseline, gasoline. Vaseline, gasoline. You're better off with coconut oil or shea butter.
Much better.
Yeah.
Shea butter is a fan favorite for a lot of brothers, though.
Yeah. And so moisturize. Mama taught us not to be ashy, but that's not just your elbows.
No,
or your
knees. It's very much so your face. Because your face, and even things like shea butter has a lot of vitamins and minerals to nourish the skin. Think about your skin, it's an organ. And so you definitely want to nourish it. And you want to keep the skin, plump and supple and supplement it. Through outside with all these elements.
Men are wearing, my eyes are closed, so I just scratched the mic, sorry. Men are wearing actual makeup too, right? Not just moisturizers. At this point, more men. And I'm not just talking about, drag queens. I'm talking about just men that you wouldn't even know they had on makeup.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's pretty common. It gives you an edge in business. And I'm not saying feel pretty, but let's say you have concerns with dark circles under your eyes. You can literally put a little bit of concealer around the eye area to camouflage your darkness. And let's say you're going to your daughter's wedding and you don't want to look tired on photos. A little bit of concealer with nothing else will help out a lot.
MkCoi brought us all the way to your daughter's wedding.
I'm helping.
That imagination.
Well, sometimes you need reference, right? Like, when would I want to wear makeup? Or if you're going to a job interview.
Or if you're on Zoom. A lot of the job interviews and stuff are on Zoom now. If you don't have good lighting and you got dark circles, you might be giving criminal when you're trying to give, lead applicant for that position. So men are wearing makeup, and it's not necessarily, like you said, to feel pretty.
No, not necessarily to feel pretty. Or if you're oily and you just want to mattify the skin, you don't want to look so shiny, you can use a powder. And that's usually what men wear is powder so they don't feel shiny. And so right now we've done her brows. So usually what I'll do is with her brows, I'll apply the brow pencil and then I'll outline it with a concealer to define the brow. Now we're doing a light foundation. One of Dominique's favorite things.
He's being funny because I don't like foundation. I only like to wear it when I'm on camera. I like makeup, but not like a lot of makeup.
She does it.
I don't. I just want to be cute. But now, for those who've seen lots and lots of looks that MkCoi Zeno has done for me on Fox Soul, and shout out to my hairstylist, Tremel, as well.
Hey, Tremel.
Tremel Borner. Tresses by Tremel, and you can find MkCoi at A Crystal Piece, both of those on Instagram, same place you find KBLA 1580, same place you find DiPrima Radio. A lot of those looks are actually still posted. Sometimes we have to do it this quick. Usually we give ourselves an hour or even a little more. But today we had communication breakdowns. Sometimes we've done my whole makeup for Fox Soul in 15 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Woo!
And we blow it out, because makeup is just art, right? So, the longer you take, the more detailed it'll be. But also, you can just really flow from within. And a lot of ladies or people who do their makeup know that when you don't have a lot of time, sometimes you pull out your best makeup looks because it's simple. It's simple, it's to the point.
I don't know if I can say that for the 5:30 makeup job that I'm doing before I get here.
I can. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Well, you know what, MkCoi, I got to thank you because you're really generous with teaching us, which is why I thought about this. Okay. He doesn't just want to be like,
please.
You have to come to me. Mm-mm. No, he wants you to know how to do. What's out of style that we're still doing? Like what, are some looks like, I feel like, for a while, especially for black women, we were just stuck on this always having a brown lip.
Yeah, the brown liner, which is surprisingly back in style and has been gentrified.
What does that mean to gentrify a look?
So the brown lip with lip gloss combo is now being hailed on TikTok as the new latte lip or espresso lip.
Right.
And
by latte they mean we stole it from black people.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to continue this conversation. We'll get a little bit done, and then we'll come forward and tell you what it is on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Roll Charmin ultra strong when you drop in the beat. It cleans with way less effort on your seat. Yeah, roll it, drop it. Yeah, roll it, drop it. Charmin flows extra strong from the road. Your butt hella clean while you're sitting on the bowl. Yeah, it's all you need for that bathroom groove. Get you in and out without nothing to prove.
Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
She's so smooth. So I'm interrupting my own shower to remind you to treat your skin like the queen she is with Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash, packed with Olay's highest level of vitamin B3 complex. It's so moisturizing that it will give you visibly smoother, head-turning skin in just 14 days. People wondering, how'd she get so smooth? Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash. Also, try Olay Hyaluronic Body Lotion.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
And part of my glam squad is in the studio. That would be McKoi Zeno. He's also my jewelry squad, by the way. I got this on Go to a Crystal Piece on Instagram. And also while you're there, go to KBLA 1580. So right now we're having a makeup tutorial live on the air, something I've never, ever done on the radio before. We're trying to scoot around so you could see my face if you're in the YouTube chat. So what are you doing now?
So I just set the makeup, right? So when you put on foundations, creams, eye creams, serums, all these different things, you have all these, excuse me, I know y'all keep hearing the bumps. That's me with my brushes. When you hear when you put on all these liquid products, you have to do something to set it. And that's where your powders come in. Pressed powders are really easy to use. You see I have this palette, has all these different colors. And also with black women, this is why makeup artists of other ethnicities have a hard time doing your makeup, because we're not just one color. Usually we're lighter around the eye area and darker on our foreheads. And so I like to use several powders to kind of get the skin in a real way. Because you're not just one color of brown.
Okay, so that's why it looks crazy when we put on foundation. It's all one color.
Yes.
And that's why people are so obsessed with so-called contouring.
Exactly. Good note. Because contouring basically is bringing warmth and dimension to the skin where there might not be. These blushes are Dominique's kind of like go-to. She's a peachy blush kind of girl. And for her placement, I like to go a little higher on her cheek. So it's kind of like here. What is this? Like really high up on the cheek
That's
towards
like
the eye.
temple and high cheek area.
And high cheek. If I can have you move this way, make sure you're balanced.
And what about colors?
As far as
blush.
For other women or for you?
Yeah, for anyone choosing one. I see so many people that look like it's wrong, and it just looks. Ugh.
Right. In general, with blush, you want to use elements like things that because blush is a skin element. A lot of people think of blush as like color, but blush has a lot to do with skin. And so blush is meant to bring back the liveliness to your skin. It's meant to replicate like a happiness in the skin.
Happy, joy.
And so it really just makes you look lively again after you've kind of washed your skin in a color.
It's interesting too because and washing it in color means foundation, right?
Foundation, concealer, because you're smoothing everything out. You're making everything one color. For eyeshadow, one of my favorite techniques is, let's see, left that off. Open up, Dominique. So raise your brow.
Oh, yeah. So my eyebrows are up now.
So you see how she raised her brow. You see this little socket here? You take a camel color, which is something that's kind of like a middle brown, and you run it through the socket here. Boom, boom, boom.
Is that like a half circle?
That's
like
a half moon.
I saw J-Lo doing that
it's like
on
a half
Instagram.
Moon. And what this does, raise the brow, it shapes the eye. It fills in that negative space. And really, it's a technique anyone can use. It's one of my kind of go-to techniques. And you always want to use a matte color here. And that's kind of the easiest thing. Take a look.
Not shiny. I don't have a mirror. Okay. Back to men for just a second because I don't want the men to be left out. Okay, I'm starting to look awake. Are men using like eyebrow pencil or eyebrow shaping and mascara and stuff like that?
Well, it depends what the look is, right? So, men on TV, yes. Men in real life, if they need it, right? So if you have, but the thing about, once you start adding lines to the skin, you're going to get the makeup look. And so in general, what guys do, if they need more brow, is they'll take a brown mascara and brush it through the hair that's already there, instead of creating a hard shape.
Okay, again, I don't want the men to be left out, but it seems like a lot of brothers, when they dye their beards and their hair, it's too black and it looks crazy.
Dark brown, gentlemen. Usually with hair dyes, with mascaras, if you're going to do any kind of camouflaging, I highly recommend dark brown. And then you can follow up with like a waterproof black mascara for details. And that way you have a brown base, but then black accentuations.
Okay. Black lowlights kind of.
Exactly.
And so you don't look like you got picked up by your feet and dipped into an ink bottle. Exactly. And men think women don't notice that, but we do. And we talk about you. Sorry. Sorry, we do. Or you could do like our GM Ty, who's peeking in and just shave all your hair off. That's another option. But you still got to moisturize, right?
You do.
Moisturize that bald head, Ty.
Now take a look in the camera.
Okay.
Now you see how she looks natural, right? You see her eye shape top because I surrounded her eye, but also I took that same matte shadow and lightly under the lash line here. Because eye shadow is a shadow of the eye. So this needs to connect here. And so I did that on both eyes. Now you need to bring it up a bit. We take a shimmery tone and then right over the lid, just apply that. Like that, right over your lid.
I look at myself on YouTube when I'm broadcasting every day on KBLA 1580, and I think, thank you. I think I look washed out, pale, and like I put on half my bottle of blush, and I still look like I don't have on any makeup.
Well, I think we're used to seeing ourselves in a certain way, especially when you wear makeup. And so you kind of have to give yourself a little bit of grace, just a little bit.
Yeah. And I know, by the way, we're close to the end of the show here. So I know, by the way, you're not a person that says we must have makeup. That's me. That's not McCoi. McCoi's happy if you want to walk around in your beautiful natural skin.
Just make sure you wear your skincare.
Wear your skincare, meaning the moisturizers and such. So we only have a few minutes here, and I already look better, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what are the things that you consider essential that you wish people knew about makeup, doing makeup?
I think skincare underneath is one of the most essential. And in general, when you talk about makeup, the most important things are lips and eyes and complexion. And so that could literally be just a little concealer, mascara, and then like any kind of lip product. If you wear like a bright color lip, which is what a lot of sisters do because they don't wear makeup, they wear like really vibrant lip colors, and they notice it just dresses up their whole look. With you today, I'm doing a natural brown lip. I'm doing a latte lip, otherwise known to me as a sister girl. Blend. Mm-hmm. This is the famous
Blend means
Cork,
put your lips together. Mm-hmm.
Cork by MAC.
Cork by MAC. I didn't know it was famous. Gosh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm so late.
Well, it's a soft brown as opposed to chestnut, which is the brown skin girl brown.
Got it. Got it.
And then a beige color by Dior called Beige Angelique, or Angelic Beige.
Nice. They have to say it in French to make it sound fancy. What are the mistakes that we're making?
The mistakes, there aren't too many mistakes in my opinion, because sometimes people look interesting with their makeup on.
Be creative.
But they feel beautiful.
Right.
And so because of that, is it a mistake if they feel confident and beautiful? I don't think so.
Right. That's just an expression of their creativity.
Exactly. But one thing I will tell people to avoid is wearing too much makeup during the daytime. Like, because the sun is really unforgiving when it comes to things like heavy contour and heavy makeup. And so you find that we're doing Dominique's mascara. Now watch how this look completely changes. Turn to open up and look down. Yes, if you wear too much makeup, you'll notice that the sun will shine through it, and that's how most people can clock the makeup. And they're like, oh my God, her makeup was bad. And truthfully, the makeup wasn't bad. It's just that the sun can, beam through the makeup. Whereas if you save that same makeup for nighttime, you will look absolutely beautiful. And so I just think, laying low on the skin during the day is important.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you can amp up the lip. You can amp up your lashes, because when have you ever said to someone, her lashes are just too long, her natural lashes. Her natural lashes. Her lashes are just too long, too thick, too luscious, and too black. You don't say it. If someone has like long, luscious lashes, they look feminine, they look doughy-eyed. And so play up your mascara, but maybe lay off the heavy lash during the day.
You mean that? You talking about eyelashes, the artificial eyelashes that we're all wearing? Yes. Men are always complaining about it now on social media, but I don't buy it anyway. MkCoi, it's time to pass the mic to Tavis Smiley, and who could actually really use a makeover. But, I mean, he always looks good, but from the makeup perspective, I don't know if he'd let you touch his face. But you can find MkCoi Zeno at A Crystal Peace.
At A Crystal Peace.
And it's peace like love and peace.
Exactly. A crystal world peace, or like peace like that. I will be at the opening of the new Saks Fifth Avenue store at Barney's, at the old Barney's building. They're moving from present Saks to the new Barney's building. I'll be there from the 8th through the 10th. It's a grand opening, and I'll be there. I'll be the featured artist for Dior Cosmetics.
Okay, it's time to pass the mic to Tavis Smiley. Thank you for a great effort this morning. This one's from Lupita Nyong'o. My quote, "I'm dripping in melanin and honey. I'm black without apology." Love that quote. So there's makeup for whatever beautiful skin you're in. Tavis Smiley is up next. He's got an amazing show on deck for you. I'm Dominique DiPrima. Don't forget, Freedman Friday is tomorrow. We have got an amazing reparations, comprehensive conversation going. History is now, and we are making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.